Rainbow portals, the revealing of hidden things, and more. The seven spirits of God, the seven chakras, Roy G. Biv, Joseph's coat of many colors, anisotropic light, dark side of the moon, ancient legends, and more. Starting with rainbows, going for an intellectual ride, which after the stunning emoji symbol revelation, this will be a fun ride. Whether legends based on truth, weird phenomenons, or just interesting thoughts, rainbows are ancient and archetypal. Atmospheric phenomenon is always fascinating, especially when they're mysterious spiritual symbols. Whether northern lights, earthquake lights, stars themselves, or rainbows, sometimes science is only measuring the physical manifestation of things that are present, but not the actual cause or root of what an event is. Sometimes there's a very thin line between science and spirituality anyway. A miracle known only to occur in the earth realm, well, not exactly. Greek mythology holds that rainbows link humans to gods. Ancient Japanese believed they were bridge portals, as a connection with their ancestors and other realms. Think about the movie with Thor with the rainbow bridge portal. I think we've all heard of the pot of gold legend at the end of the rainbow. I haven't had Lucky Charms in a minute. And in ancient Hebrew beliefs that stem from the Talmud, seeing a rainbow is a sign that we've sinned and God's showing mercy by not destroying us. So when you see a rainbow, the appropriate thing to do is to thank God and say a blessing from the Talmud. Fascinating legends of people so righteous they never saw a rainbow in their entire lifetime. Generations without rainbows were considered to be righteous generations. Truth to it or not, you decide. There's an interesting rabbinic debate about the origin of rainbows. Did they always exist and God decided to use that as a symbol? Or the more common belief, which when debated is called midrash by the way, is that there was some sort of atmospheric conversion and a change that happened at the time of the flood, thus making rainbows a new thing. Which the normal rainbow seems to be a different kind of rainbow than Ezekiel saw. Or the thought of the emerald rainbow that surrounds the throne of God. Speaking of rainbow, is that heaven peeking through? How about the anisotropic New Jerusalem gemstones? Or the seven spirits of God shining through the seven colors, which corresponds with our seven chakras. And the seven colors Roy G. Biv, which the chakras are the same colors. So with this idea of heaven peeking through or translucence, think how this translucence is always tied to angels. Or the Marty McFly hat. Scientifically, rainbows has to do with the separating of the electromagnetic spectrum and light. It only happens under certain conditions, like the separating of a veil. Let's jump back into the color spectrum for a minute. And the idea that colors have meaning. And the idea that we can only see a very limited portion of the color spectrum, and that once we get into other dimensions or heaven, we'll not only be able to see new shades of the colors we already know, but totally new colors we've never seen before either. Back to meaning with colors. That's a fascinating study there, especially considering the synesthetic mind, where colors, numbers, and all sorts of other thoughts are all connected. Scientifically, it is said that a rainbow comes into the eye through sets of water droplets. Different sets of droplets through refraction and water. It's a reflection. Now think about the Bible mentioning the waters above. Think about the shape of a rainbow. Firmament. It's a dome. Not only does the Bible mention the waters above, but it also mentions the crystal sea before his throne. So when you picture the throne of God above the dome, it has an emerald rainbow, and beneath his feet is a crystal sea. Now this ties into double and triple rainbows and also totally circular rainbows, the circle rainbow. There's also moon bows, fog bows, rainbow-colored halo cloud UAPs. I wonder if one really is a portal. By the way, rainbows are always at a 42-degree angle for all you numerology buffs. And the Pink Floyd album, Dark Side of the Moon, this whole concept of light going through the prism and being changed also ties in. And lots of metaphors and schools of thought related, such as the revealing of what's hidden or the transformation of something. Esoteric concepts like, depending on where we stand, the revealing of God's light is different to each individual, even though it's the same. The seven spirits of God, the menorah candlestand before the throne. Think about how this ties in with the ancient seven-headed dragon or the seven-headed serpent that is seen in many cultures. Also tying in with the rainbow and the chakra connection. Of all the rainbow fun and mysteries and interesting thoughts, maybe one of the coolest to keep in mind may be tied to your childhood when you realized you could make your own rainbow with a sprinkler hose in the backyard. Keep those good thoughts in mind until I see you next time, unless I access a rainbow portal.